Hey everyone, I hope you guys had a great weekend. We're picking up on the lines, angles, and shapes packet where we left off last Tuesday, which I believe was the mystery shape grid. So when plotting points, you're given a set of 2 coordinates. And these are going to be x, y coordinates. So it's going to be x, comma, y. It is really small. Okay, let's try this. Perfect. Alright, so it's going to be x, y. So up here, our x line goes horizontally, and our y goes vertically. So x goes across, y goes up and down. So when you're plotting, each one of these 3 points is going to connect a line. So we have -11 is our x number, and -8 is our y number. So we're going to start here at 0, 0, and we're going to move over to our -11 number, and then we're going to move down to our -8 number, and we're going to plot a point. We're going to try to plot a point. Okay. Our next coordinate is 10, -8. So we're going to find 10 on our x line, which is over here, and we're going to go down again to -8. And we're going to plot another point. Now we're going to connect these by a line. Okay. Our next number is 10, 2. So we're going to start with our x number and move over 10. And our y number, we're going to go up to 2. And we're going to plot another point. And we're going to connect these by a line. Okay. Our next number, -8, -3. So we're going to go over -8, down to -3, and we're going to plot another point. Okay. Our next one is -8 and 7. So we're again going to go over to -8. Now we're going to go up to 7. We're going to plot another point. We're going to take a line and we're going to connect these now. Okay. And our next number is 13 and 7. So we're going to go all the way over here to 13 and up to 7. And plot another point. And we're going to draw a line and connect these. Okay. Our next one is -11, -8. So we're going to go over to -11 and down to -8. We already have a point there. And we're going to do -8, -3. So we're going to go over to -8 and down to -3. There's a point there as well, so we're going to connect those with a line now. And then 13 and -3. So we're going to go over to 13 and down to -3. Plot a point there. And now we're going to connect these by a line. Our next one is -11 and 2. So again, over to -11, up 2. We're going to plot a point. -8 and 7. So we're going to go over to -8 and up to 7. We already have a line there, so now we're going to draw a line that connects these two. Okay. Our next one is 10 and -8. So we're going to go over 10 and down to -8. We have a line there already. And 13 and -3. So we're going to go to 13 and -3. We have a point there, so we're going to draw a line that connects these two. It's 13 and -3. Okay. Our next one is 10 and 2. So we're going to go over 10 and up 2, which is this dot right here. And we're going to connect that to 13 and 7. So we're going to go over to 13 and up to 7, which is right here. So we're going to connect these two now. Our next line is 13 and -3. So we're going to go over 13 and down to -3, which is right here. And we're going to connect that to 13, 7. So that's going to get connected to this one right here. Now we're down here, so we're going to do 10 and 2. So that's over 10 and up 2, which is right here where these two meet at this vertice. -11 and 2. So we're going to go over to -11 and up to 2, so we're connecting these ones right here. And our last one is -11 and -8, which would connect this one and this one. So we're going to draw a line. And our shape is complete. Our face is a rectangle, and the way it's a box would make it a prism, so our mystery shape is a rectangular prism. Moving on to the next page, they want us to figure out which one of these 5 shapes goes with these 5 clues. Now at the bottom, we have a box that says congruent shapes are exactly the same shape and size. Parallel lines are the same distance apart at all times. And polygons are 2-dimensional or flat shapes. So those are going to help us figure out where these 5 shapes go. So our first one says a 3-dimensional figure, which means it's not flat. And it has 2 parallel and congruent circles as bases. So the first thing we're going to look for is ones that have circles. So a cone has a circle, cylinder has a circle, and a sphere is a circle. So we're looking for parallel and congruent circles. Parallel would mean circles that never intersect, so one would be up here and one would be down here. Those are parallel. They never intersect. So the only shape up here that has 2 circles would be our cylinder. The top face and the bottom face are both circles and they will never intersect. So number 1 would be a cylinder. So we're going to move on to number 2. It says a 3-dimensional figure with a circular base and 1 vertex. So a vertex is where sides would meet. So a pyramid has 1 vertex at the top, and this one has 4 at the bottom. The prism has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 vertexes. Our cylinder doesn't have any, and our sphere doesn't have any. Our cone only has 1. So it has a circular base and 1 vertex. So number 2 is going to be a cone. Number 3 is a 3-dimensional figure with 2 congruent parallel bases that are polygons. So let's look down here. Congruent means they're the same size and shape. Parallel means that they will never intersect. And polygons are 2-dimensional shapes. So it's looking for parallel bases that'll never intersect. So this pyramid only has 1 base. A sphere doesn't have any. So we're going to have number 3 as a rectangular prism. Number 4 is a 3-dimensional figure with a curved surface where all points are the same distance from a point called the center. So it's a curved surface, it's not flat. So we're down to a pyramid and a sphere. The pyramid has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 flat surfaces. A sphere is like a ball where all of it is curved. So number 4 is going to be a sphere. Number 5 is a three-dimensional figure whose base is a polygon and whose all other faces are triangles that share a common vertex. So in a pyramid, our base on the bottom, which tells us what kind of pyramid it is a polygon, and all the other faces are triangles that share one vertex. So number 5 is going to be a pyramid. Down to our next page. The directions say congruent figures are the same size and shape. Similar figures are the same shape, but different sizes. Write similar or congruent to describe each pair of shapes. So if we look at number 1, they're both circles, and they're also both the same size. So from up here, we know that if they're the same size and the same shape, that makes them congruent. If we go to number 2, we see that they're both squares, which makes them the same shape, but they are not the same size. So if they're the same shape but different sizes, they are similar. Number 3, both of our shapes are hearts, and even though they're facing different directions, they are the same shape and they are the same size. So the same size and same shape would make them congruent. Number 4, they are both triangles, but one is smaller than the other. So if they're the same shape but different sizes, they are similar. Number 5 are both arrows, which makes them the same shape. One is small, one is big. So if they're the same shape but different sizes, they are similar. Number 6, they are both triangles, and even though they're facing different directions, they are both the same size. So same size and same shape makes them congruent. Down here in the box, it wants us to draw a similar shape. So it wants us to draw a shape that is the same shape, but a different size. So there is a right triangle, but it is smaller than the original one. Over here, it wants us to draw a congruent shape. And we know that congruent is the same size and the same shape, so this is congruent. Same size, same shape. So your last page is just a test to test your skills. All of these answers we've done throughout the last couple weeks. So I'm going to leave you guys to do this 12-question assessment on your own. As always, if you have questions, you're more than welcome to email me or send me a message on Google Hangouts and I will get back to you and help you complete this. I hope you guys have a great rest of your week.